Democrats like yourself have been largely supportive of these proposals. Some Republicans not so much. One Republican in particular, Senator Mitch McConnell, did say this, quote, President Biden and his leftist allies don't like the current composition of the court, so they want to shred the Constitution to change it. What do you make of his response?
Well, that's just hogwash, gibberish, political doublespeak. When you call your Democratic colleagues leftists, you should discount anything the man has to say. That is something Trump has put in the lexicon. We're left of him. We're left of most Republicans, but most of us are not leftists. And that's the kind of rhetoric that is wrong in America, and it's the kind of rhetoric that makes things wrong. And Mitch McConnell doctored the Constitution within the spirit of the Constitution by not allowing Barack Obama's nomination of Merrick Garland that came forth, I think, in February of this last year in office, saying it's too close to the election. But then when Justice Ginsburg died, and he put Amy Coney Barrett through in less than a month before the election, I think she came in within weeks of the election. It showed he has no moral integrity. He has no moral compass. He's a pragmatic, transactional politician. And with the exception of saying Trump was wrong on January 6th, which he then took back and became a lapdog once again, he's lost all credibility. What's going on right now, it's sad. We watch the Olympics, and one thing the Olympics ought to teach us is that we're all human beings all over the world. And whoever's competing competes, whether they're black, white, tall, short, whatever, they compete, and the winner is crowned, and everybody accepts the winner. And we don't call them names, compete against them, and then we treat everybody equally. The American team is largely made up of African Americans in gymnastics, African Americans and people of Asian descent. That's the women's gymnastics team, and I guess it's the male gymnastics team too, to some extent. There's a couple of folks on there, but the track team it's mostly African American. The swimming team is mostly white, but we're all Americans, and we're proud of each of them, and we cheer for each other. On the basketball court, we cheer for them. They're all black. Soccer, we're mostly white, but not all. We cheer for them, and we don't do it in politics. In politics, it's just dog eat dog, and it's name calling. It got worse and worse with Trump.
I mean, to your point, the Olympics has been a beautiful sign in unity and patriotism. Politics in today's world, maybe not so much. But back to Mitch McConnell's point about the Constitution, do you think that these proposals are, in your words, doctoring the Constitution?
No, you don't shred it when you amend it. The Constitution has an amendment clause. There's a manner to amend it, and the Founding Fathers knew it would need to be amended. It's been amended 20 some odd times. And what the proposal would be to amend the Constitution on the terms of office of the Supreme Court justices, and that would be permissible. If you do it by legislation, you'd have to do it in a super artful way, and I don't think that could happen. And I think that would violate the Constitution. I hope it's to amend it, and that's what we need to do is to amend the Constitution. And that's a difficult process. I've amended our state constitution for state lottery. It took me 20 years to do it. So I know what long fights are.
I guess you're anticipating this is going to be a long fight because Senate Minority Leader McConnell also said that this is essentially going to be dead on arrival to Congress. So what do you anticipate this fight is going to be like to ultimately, in your hopes, get it passed?
Well, there'll be discussion in the Senate where Senator Durbin and Senator Whitehouse, there'll be others, of course, but that's the two leaders on these issues. We'll discuss it in committee, and it may have votes. In the House, it won't get anything. We understand that, but at least we'll get discussion, and